So, in honor of New Year's Eve 2013, we're going to make a wonderful soup. Let's call it the New Year's Eve soup, why don't we? Aye. We're going to feature a great big piece of pork. Aye, get in my belly. This actually is a pork sirloin tip roast, boneless. Now you can always buy the chopped up crap in the store. It's always a lousy cut of meat. It'll make your soup taste like crap. Don't buy that. Alright, we're also going to feature cabbage. It'll make you fat, but legend says it's good for money in 2014. Aye. Then we got black-eyed peas. They're wonderful for you. And supposedly, they're good for good luck in 2014. Who doesn't need a little good luck, Now, we're going to add some jalapeno sausage. Why? Well, we got no haggis. Sausage. A little color, a little flavor of peppers. You love them. We're going to add some chicken broth. Why? Well, we're cheating. That's why. Some carrots. Why carrots? I don't know. Potatoes. You need to get the size and about the size of monkey balls. When you go to the grocer, say, you have the monkey ball size potatoes. And they'll say, sure, right the fuck over there. If you look, you'll see them yourself, damn it. The monkey ball size. They're wonderful. Then we're going to get an onion. Onions will be delicious in the soup. You'll love that. Black-eyed peas we covered. We're going to take some really old mushrooms that we found in the bottom tin in the fridge, and God only knows how long they've been in there, but by the time we boil this up, it'll kill whatever would kill you. I think that's it. Now, you need a nice big pot like this one. This is like 4 quarts, a couple of liters, a metric ton, fuck, I have no idea. But this is the size you get, you hear me? Otherwise, it'll be crap. Alright, this, actually I'm not sure why about that. I might drink some of it. Hell, I might have drunken some already. Alright, so now we need to chop all this shit up, throw it in the pot, put it on the burner, and make soup. Aye? Good, you're with me. Alrighty, now we're ready to start cutting this crap up. Where do we start? Let's open these first. Now, over here, out of the picture of course, I have a wonderful can opener. You ought to get yourself one of these. It beats biting the fucker open with your teeth. Well, it doesn't beat it by much. Oh, we'll open this. If I had some decent help here, I wouldn't have to do all this crap myself. But I got no help. It's just me. My damn dog died. He wasn't much help anyway. Now, these little fuckers here, the nice thing about these is they already come washed. They're bite size already. Just put them the fuck right on top of the broth. You'll be fine with that. Are you taking notes, for Christ's sake? Get in there, damn it. The little fuckers are a little rocked out. There we go. This here, the size of this is a 1 pound of these little mini carrots, whatever. Alright, now, hell, let's do the sausage. What do you think? Where's my damn knife, for God's sakes? There we go. I'm going to use this knife here. You ought to have a knife like this around somewhere. Alright. They pack these things so nobody will steal the damn thing. You ever notice that? It takes an act of Congress to open it up. You cut around the outside like this. Are you following me? You're taking notes, for God's sakes. Good. And you open this thing up here, ladies. No jokes. It's a little small. For most of you, I'm sure. No jokes. This is a cooking show. Mostly clean. Mostly. Alright. Come out of there, you peckerwood. God damn. There we go. Alright, you cut this into more or less. You really want to cut this thing into, you know, bite-sized pieces. Now, for some of you there, I realize that about that might be a bite-sized piece, but we're talking about culinary delights here, so let's try to just stick with the subject at hand, so to speak. Alright, this is a beautiful piece of meat here. Perhaps you can see, I wasn't shitting you. It's a damn nice piece of meat. Thank you. So we're going to cut this rascal open, and we're going to cube this thing, more or less, in order to make a beautiful stew meat. Not the crap you buy in the store called stew meat. They ought to call it crap meat, because it's crap. But this, yeah, now we're talking. So we're going to cut it in about cube-sized piece, about a little bigger than bite-sized, because it'll cook down some, you know. Isn't that delightful meat? And there's not a lot of fat in that either, you know? A little here and there, but it's pretty much lean meat, you know. It's not haggis, thank God. Jesus, how do these people eat haggis? Nothing like a nice goat stomach full of shit. That's what I always say. Alright, look at that. You can make steak out of this stuff, probably. Alright, cut this into pieces. New Year is 2013. It's been an interesting year, you know. Yeah. The crappy president we've got. Wait! Did I say that out loud? Oh, for God's sakes. I'll lose all my audience. How's that Obamacare doing for you? God dang it, I said it again. You know. Don't get sick, that's what I'm telling you. Rationing? Oh no, there won't be no death panels, nothing like that. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Haggis. You're 84 years old and you're doing no heart? Well, fuck you. Here you go. Here's a paper that says, fuck you. That's it. We don't care. I don't know. Back in the old days, you know, when people finally got to the point where they're going to die, they just walked off in the woods and died, for God's sakes. We'll be returning to that now. Not by choice, of course, by necessity. Uncle, just walk out in the fucking woods and kill yourself, for God's sakes. Doesn't this look wonderful? Look, there's a little bit of sinew in this. I hate that. I might cut it out. Ah, fuck that. Takes too long. Now you're probably asking yourself, for God's sakes, man, how long will it take to cook all of this food? Well, really, it's not all that long. You can kind of cook it a little bit to taste. A couple of hours. A nice roll and boil for a couple of hours, it'll be done. But really, you probably want to make it go 4 or 6 on a low heat with the roll and boil, gently roll and boil. And it'll soften the meat even more than it will anyway. You could almost use the crap meat, but it tastes like crap, so don't do that. A little bit of sinew right there. Maybe it'll boil out, I don't know. That's what the fucking made toothpicks for Christ's sakes. Oh, you want this perfect? Where do you think you're coming from? It's Texas, for God's sakes. Chew it. There we go. It looks wonderful though, don't you think? Answer the question. I think it's about time for a glass of wine, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not sure what to have. What goes good with pork? Don't answer that. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and do the cabbage. Now the cabbage, you don't want to use all this outside stuff because, for God's sakes, people have been sneezing on it. You never know where this shit comes from. So you want to take off the outside, the tough outside leaves, right? You don't have to be a culinary genius to figure that out. Pull this stuff off where people have washed their hands on it, where people have forgotten to cover their mouth when they have a nice sneeze over there in the vegetable department after being sick for 3 weeks with some horrible fucking flu, and they don't give a fuck one way or the other how sick you get. Just saying. Alrighty, why don't we cut this butt off? Oh, it's kind of annoying. There you go. For Christ's sake, it keeps going on. Well, we got a way to figure it out. We'll do this on the floor. You know, this knife looks a little small. Now, you don't want to use too small a knife. You hear me? You don't want to use too small a knife. You cut yourself, for Christ's sake. Let's get a bigger knife. Now, there is a knife for you. Look at that. Cut all the way across. Might even be sharp by accident. Alrighty. There we go. Now you don't want to have a lot of this stuff laying around in your soup. The pain in the ass to eat it when it's long. So we're going to cut this into some small pieces. And when we get that done, and they boil it for a couple of hours, all of this shit will just basically disappear into the soup. You won't even know there's cabbage in there. You'll say to yourself, for God's sakes, I thought we put cabbage in this fucker. Yeah. So we're not going to leave it long like this. We're going to take these pieces. You're following me here. You got a camera guy? You see, that's at least manageable. It'll boil down nicely. And you can fit it on a soup spoon. And if you can't, fuck you. That's all we're getting. Now, we got a little mistakes in here all over the place, but it'll be fine. Most of this stuff will cook right down, you'll never know. I'm not sure we're going to use the whole goddamn thing, for God's sakes. A little cabbage is one thing, but too much more cabbage with the beans and the sausage, and for God's sakes, you'll be your own gas plant. Let's see, we might as well go ahead and do the peppers while we're here, okay? Wonderful colored peppers. A little something there I don't like. It'll boil. It'll be fine. Wonderful colors, don't you think? I mean, really. If you're going to have peppers, have some color, for God's sakes. I think we're going to cut this little piece out. There's something about that just don't look right to me. Holy mackerel. It looks like I need to sharpen this thing. You really don't want all these seeds, you know. So you want to come in here and cut this top out. And take this thing away. And look at this. There's all your seeds right there. Almost all of them. Close enough. For God's sakes, it's soup. There we go. Look at that. A few seeds here and there never hurt anybody. And now for the orange one. And a beautiful specimen. I mean, really. A beautiful specimen. There you go. I'll throw all of this stuff out because it ain't no good. Alrighty. Now we're ready to cut this into some nice size pieces. Whoop, upside down knife. For God's sakes, you're supposed to be professional at this. We'll cut this away. Cut out the vein because it's a little nasty. Not so much nasty tasting as it is, the texture is just wrong for soup. Even after you boil it, it's just wrong. Don't do it. Cut the veins out. Right? You with me on this? Of course you are. I think I'm going to rinse a little more of these seeds out of here. The seeds, I don't know. Talk amongst yourselves, I'll be right back. There we go. Beautiful looking, don't you think? Alright, we're going to cut these long ways. Are you following me? Let me move that over. Cut these long ways to start. We're going to make them basically bite size after we take out that vein. There we go. Going to basically make them bite size pieces. They'll be a little bit big, but they'll fit your fucking spoon. Alrighty. 2 peppers down, 1 to go. Aye, this one looks quite healthy. Go ahead and cut right down the vein line. We'll take that sucker out right now. Go ahead and cut the rest in half. Take out this vein. Yeah, now we're on a fucking roll. I wish I had more peppers to cut, just because now we got it down like a fucking science. Nice orange pepper. The orange peppers are good luck, you know. That's what they say. Well, I'm just making this shit up as I go. Well, as if you didn't know that. Alrighty. Pepper squares again. Get these little fuckers down. The skins are a little bit tough, even after you cook them down. This is Texas, for God's sakes. Eat the fucking tough pepper skin. God damn it. Whining sons of bitches about the... How are we doing so far on time, huh? How are we doing? We doing alright on time? Are we doing alright on time, for God's sakes? Yeah, okay. Alrighty, that's the peppers. I'm running out of trash space over here. I may have to take an Olympic time out and straighten some of this shit out. But before that, let's put our peas in here. Look at these black-eyed peas for luck. Beautiful, fresh. It says right there fresh. You can of course believe anything you see at the grocery store. Fresh, do you see that? Fresh. What would make you think they're not fresh when it says right on the fucking package, fresh? A couple of these in here would be wonderful. I'm getting closer all the time. Alrighty. You may have to shake this down, so for God's sakes, we got an awful lot of food in there. What do you do with the rest of the cabbage? You throw it away, for God's sakes. The stuff smells awful. Don't store cabbage. Use every last bit that you possibly can, then throw the fucker out that's left. For God's sakes, it's awful. Don't get the plastic in the soup. That's another rule. You should pay close attention to where all the fucking plastic drops to. I seem to have missed a piece. I hope it's not in the fucking soup. Alrighty. Time to take a little time out. We'll square away a few things and be right back. I say we're gonna be right back in a few minutes. Yeah? Alrighty, back with you. Now you see what I've done here is I've washed the monkey bowls. The potatoes that are monkey ball size. And the reason for that is they tend to be a little sandy. And there's no amount of water. There's no amount of water you can add the sand and make it dissolve. Do you know what I mean? That's why there's beaches. So anyway, what we're going to do with these is quarter them. That's it. Just quarters. You might be saying to yourself, for God's sakes, that's quite a good sized piece of potato. Well, yeah, it'll cook down little. But the other thing is, for God's sakes, this is Texas. Open your fucking mouth and eat the damn thing. That's what I'm saying. You know, if you want to be dainty, you can go to like Vermont or New Hampshire or something like that. Yeah. But when you're in Texas, for God's sakes, quit your bitching and moaning about the size of the food. Yeah, everything in Texas is big. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Alrighty. So we're going to quarter these, and then we're going to add the onion. And I want to show you a little something about the onion, so that you know how to manage your onions. I'll do the potatoes later. Let me show you how to do this onion. A lot of people fight over the outside of the onion. They say, for God's sakes, how do you get the fucking skin off of it? Well, that's easy actually. What you do, take your knife like this right here. And you go into the onion like this, hopefully without cutting the piss out of yourself, for God's sakes. And you go all the way around like that. You with me so far? Now, you just reach down into there a little bit and you pull the fucking skin off. That's it. It's easy as that. And you want to put off several layers, because the outside of the thing is tough as nails, for God's sakes. I mean, beyond Texas tough. It's hopeless to try to eat an onion, the outside part of an onion. You see how easy this is? Shut the fuck up. There you go. Alright, now we're starting to get the thing trimmed down now. We're on top of the bowl, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I know, it smells like onion and people cry. What the fuck? Get over yourself. It's an onion. Alrighty. Now there's some people say, you know, you ought to leave this little bit on the end down there and it won't make you cry. That's crap! Cut the fucking thing in half like this right here. Ah. There you go. Now, you gotta take this little fucker off like that. There you go. And the other side too. Oh, you're saying to yourself, for God's sakes, look how much onion you're wasting. Well, for God's sake, you can't eat that pot. Mind your P's and Q's. Alrighty, now we got it going. And you'll notice I'm not crying a bit. Part of the reason for that is it's a sweet onion. You're going to find that we don't add any salt, no pepper, no sugar. Huh? You don't need that crap. It's a wonderful soup just like it is. And just like the cabbage, we don't want a lot of strings hanging around trying to fight that with a soup spoon, for God's sake. So we're going to try to cut this into fairly small pieces. We're not going to labor like a coal miner over it, you know. But it'll work a little bit. And if you cut it in the right way, like I've just shown you, it'll come out into some very small pieces. Look at this right here. You see that? Yeah. Small pieces. It'll break up. Alright, fuck it. That's good enough. Every great once in a while, you're gonna get a piece or two that's too big. What the fuck? It's not rocket science. We're not trying to make nuclear fissionable material here. It's fucking soup. Relax. For God's sakes, man. It's starting to get a pretty full bowl over there. Have you noticed that? Have you looked in here lately? I don't think you have. Let me turn this over just a little bit. You can look and see what we've done. If I could knock the fucking stuff all out of it. Look at this. Is that looking delicious or what? Yeah, it's a pot full. I told you, you gotta have a pot that size. I told you right up the front, you gotta have a pot that size. Didn't I? Of course I did. Otherwise, it's crap. You like this? People say, oh, for Christ's sake, it takes too long to make soup. We'll just go down to the store and we'll buy a little bit of soup and we'll be fine. It's crap, I'm telling you. You should make your own soup. You know what's in it. It's nice and healthy. And I'm telling you, there's not a lot of fat in the soup at all. Alrighty, I'm going to finish the potatoes while you're not looking. And then we're going to fill it with water and we're going to put the heat on. That's it. We're done. Alrighty, back in a little while. Talk amongst yourselves. Alrighty, what you got over there is a pot of soup, for God's sakes. Zoom in and have a look, huh? Aye, it's a little full. It'll cook down. How many times do I have to tell you, for God's sakes, it's going to cook down just fine? You want a closer look? Aye, we can do that. Hang on. It's going to be a rough ride here for a minute. Hold on to your hat. Alrighty. Alright, here we go. I hope the cord will reach. That's what she said. There you go. Let's focus, focus, focus. You'll notice that a lot of potatoes on top. Now, I couldn't stir the damn thing. But here in a while, once we get the thing to the boil, we'll have an opportunity to stir a couple of times. It'll be wonderful. Now look down here. I've set it on 9. I'm trying to get that thing hot in a hurry. But after it gets warmed up, and we start getting a rolling boil, we'll cut that down to about 4, maybe 3. And then we'll leave it there for a couple of hours, and then we'll cut it all the way down to 2. That's right. And for about 2 hours, it'll roll and boil at 2, because we've heat soaked all this, and it'll be hot as a son of a bitch. Alrighty, well, let's see here now. Okay, well, that's about it for now. I'll get back with you once it's it's easy for you to say, damn it. I'll get back with you here shortly when we get a little cooked down and it starts to look like soup. Later. Alrighty now. We've got the soup down for about 3 hours. And you see, there's no more potatoes just sticking out at the top. It's all cooked down like I told you to start with. Ah, look at this. It's beautiful. Beautiful orange color. And look at this. That's what I'm talking about right there. It's all cooked down. And looky there. Number 4. That's about what I told you. I got enough water in here. It's taking a little bit more heat than I originally thought. But look at it go. You see it boiling down there. It's continuing to heat, and the convection through the liquid is bringing up the sauces from below and pulling them up to the top. It's actually, hang on there, I'll be right with you. It's actually quite lovely, don't you think? Aye. Well, that's all I've got for you now. That's how you make New Year's Eve soup. And for God's sakes, it's now New Year's Day soup, 12:31 Central Time. Aye. Well, good soup making to you. Don't fuck it up. And don't make it crap, for God's sakes. Bye.